hair. I've washed my hair right out of my life. That's what happened. I've had friends that when they went bald, they're like, oh, I got a perm, and they used a chemical. And I can't believe the number of interesting theories on why people lose their hair. I lost mine on purpose. It's just too hard to manage. Took it off. Put it away. I think we saw it from the yesterday. So if you're watching the clips, if you've been watching the Keys to Faith clips, which you can see on keystofaith.com, keys to the number 2 faith.com. You can see all our clips there and links to our book, Living Ugly Like Jesus, and also get the companion daily Good News Power Journal that goes along with that. We just got done talking in the recent clip about how, when Dawn and I first met, how it was supernatural, and then just the first part of our marriage and how Dawn received Jesus, and then I did a year later. It was just awesome. So you have to check out that clip if you haven't heard that. But what happened after that? Things happened fast for us. And I actually just recently heard a minister talk about this, a minister that we've known for a long time. They finally said this about himself and his wife, that they were kind of spiritual illiterates, so to speak, or religious illiterates or something. And that it was, and we've said this. We've said we didn't really have any, habits. We hadn't gone to church since we were both 9 years old. We hadn't really read the Bible since then until Dawn started reading it when she asked Jesus in her heart, and then I did. So within a year. So we just didn't have any habits either way. And that might be part of why we moved so quickly into the spirit realm, into living supernaturally. But for me, I know, for you, Dawn, you talked about just God teaching you to love our family, learning to love our family, and learning to live with. We were in our little condo, and just for you to learn that's all, folks. To learn to live with that. I know we'd have roaches every once in a while because we're living in Arizona and the desert, and you finally dispatched of one day with your shoe, and then looked around, and I remember how you put it, that Jesus said to you, you can live with this, or you can, no, what did he say?
He said, you can work with this.
And then
I just kind of, just everything that I filled myself with the simplicity and the learning to be happy with where I was at, to move forward. If I wanted to move forward in any area of our life, I just had to kind of learn how to work with what he has already given me. I couldn't get anything more unless I knew how to work with what he's already put in our hands. So
right,
that was more of as a mom and a stay-at-home mom and a wife, that was like, just the little things, like, how to make better meals, with less, that kind of
right.
thing, not trying to, make these big extravagant, beyond our budget meals,
right,
kind of thing. And then just not seeing our place as a little place, but as a blessing, and the place where he has us right now to grow, at that time. So
right.
It was kind of neat,
You started working with what you had.
Yeah.
You saw that what you had is a blessing rather than not enough.
Yeah, exactly.
You saw it as enough.
Yeah.
And you became peaceful with that. And then he moved us. Because this is, go ahead. Like fast. So like within, after I received Jesus, within a few months, the people that owned our condo, they wanted to sell it to us, but we just knew not to do that. And we just weren't concerned. We just knew that there was a time period where we had to move out because we weren't going to buy it. And we just weren't concerned. and there were these new condos, brand new condos being built right next to ours, really fancy ones. We had toured them, and they were 3-bedroom ones and
real fancy, just
expensive.
fancy.
Yeah, for our budget at the time. And Nico, he was like, "We're gonna live here." We're thinking, okay, somehow we're gonna get that out of his head. And okay, so you took Nico to the pool one day, and you looked through the trees at the new condos.
Yep, and there's this for rent sign. So
and none of them were for rent. All of them were for sale. These were brand new. Most of them weren't even finished being built yet. I mean, the outside were, but they were still building on a lot of them. So nothing was for rent. Everything was for sale. And you saw that?
So I went and told Tony.
Yeah.
We called and we got it. It was,
no credit checks,
again,
no background checks.
Again, it was just another supernatural move.
We called them, then they called the lady we'd been renting from, the condo from, for over 5 years, and they called us back and said, "Hey, good report, move in." It was like 100 yards away, 120 yards away, and but it was fancy. It was all of a sudden we went from we went to brand new everything. I mean, brand new, like literally brand new. Yeah. This place had just been built. So, within a year and a half of Dawn receiving Jesus and saying, how can I work with this? No more washer and dryer in the living room. I mean, it was a really nice condo. The layout was awesome. It was bigger than the one that we still 2-bedroom, but it was bigger than the one that we had been in, and it was brand new. And it was beautiful, and it was like a sidewalk away from the other condos, and 120 yards away from where we had lived. But I need to say something. We weren't. I was even surprised that we were not stressed. Like, where are we going to live? Because this was previous to this. We had been renting for so long. There was really no background check, credit checks. You had to pay people. The process of renting was a lot simpler when we first started renting, even before that condo. And so, and also, there was a lot of rentals. There wasn't a lot of rentals. So we were looking all over, and nothing was close. We really liked where we lived, all these things. And a neighbor of ours had come up and said, "Oh, when are you got to move?" And we're like, "We're just a few weeks away." And I had a peace.
Yeah, I think that's what happens. I mean, that's where this, the word becomes the living word, in you. And when you, people experience the Jesus peace that he says, the real peace. He's like, "Peace I leave you, not of this world." You're just like, what's that?
Right.
Just like
peace that passes all understanding.
And you want to know what that is, but it's not until you, live it. And he's really in you, that his peace really does come out, and you're just like I should just be like a freaky deek right now,
No. And we weren't.
And we weren't. It was just like this calm, knowing that everything was going to be okay. Yeah. It's like that deep down inside that it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And it is. It's really neat. It's a neat piece.
So the first supernatural, obviously after receiving Jesus, that first supernatural part was when we got into the condo. It wasn't until we moved stuff in, and all of a sudden we went, "Nico said we were going to live here." Yeah. Now, we weren't in the exact condo. When Nico said we're going to live here, he didn't mean in the condo we were touring at the time. He just meant we're going to live in one of those new condos. So he didn't call out the exact condo, but we all of a sudden realized, "Oh my God, we're living here! Oh my gosh!" And it was just, and that's where it just, because it had just been a few months since I'd received Jesus. We got our study Bibles, went to the Christian bookstore, got all this stuff, and that is when we started eating the Word, Dawn. We were getting tapes from ministers, books. We were eating it up every day. We were watching, Christian television. We were getting all the books and CDs. I'd go out we had our advertising business, so I'd drive out, and I was playing Christian, ministers' tapes so much. If you all remember cassette tapes, that the tape would get like slow, like, you know, because it would get hot and it would kind of stretch the tape. But there were times, Don, that you remember, it wasn't until like the 10th time you played that tape you'd get the revelation. Whoa! I remember one of the big ones was one minister said, you know, when you receive Jesus, the 10 Commandments become promises. They become promises. You know, and I must have played that tape 10 times. And the 10th time, I really got what that. I mean, you'd think just simple understanding, but it hit me. Yes, like when he says, you know, when you love me, you'll keep my commandments. You know, when you love me, you'll walk in this, because he's in our heart. So that was really huge. That was a big one. But that was a supernatural geographical move, not far from where we were. But it was a humongous spiritual jump, because he took us into that new condo, brand new condo, with our brand new hearts, right? And fed us the word. And then things got even crazier. But that was that first jump. So it happened fast, Don. Isn't it? What is it? 1,000 years is like a day, or the blink of an eye. It was a blink of an eye.
It was just a sudden.
Yeah, Philip. In the Bible, when God took up Philip, translated, it was a translation.